One storm down, another one to go. I'm meteorologist Joe Martucci. You are looking at the radar from our Tuesday night into Wednesday's storm. Heavy rain came across the area. This line brought damaging winds and heavy rain that flooded some regions, and we did see plenty of coastal flooding as well. That heaviest rain got out of here by about 1 in the morning, and then we saw another round just during your morning commute. Here is a look at our rainfall totals from the storm. A number of places saw 1 to 2 inches, but there were a few of us that saw well over that. Beach Haven, 3.60 inches of rain. Sea Isle City, close to 3 inches. Same thing for Point Pleasant, 2. Galloway at 6.21 over at the Jacques Cousteau Reserve in Deerfield at 2.31 inches. So there was heavy rain with this. It broke rainfall records at Atlantic City International Airport, Atlantic City Marina, and in Millville for those daily rainfall records. And if you're keeping score at home, this is the third time in our past 30 days where we broke daily rainfall records with a storm. Now we take a look at our wind gusts. The highest got up to 72 miles an hour at Island Beach State Park. I did say our highest gust would be around 70 miles an hour. We got that in a number of places, everywhere from the shore to inland. Saw wind gusts over 60 miles an hour with this. So the winds were both inland and at the coast, and it did bring up to 37,000 Atlantic City Electric customers to be without power at one point in time as we went through our Tuesday night here. You know, when you looked at the intensity of the storm, the air pressure with the storm, it was similar to many Category 2 hurricanes. And even on Wednesday evening, we're still dealing with some tidal flooding in the northern part of the Barnegat Bay, even getting down to Barnegat Township itself. We had a lot of strong southerly winds pushing that water into the inlets and then up into the bay, and it just doesn't really drain out. Once you went further to the south, we see here on our Wednesday evening that tidal flooding is okay on Seacon Island and down to Cape May as well. Lower part of Cape May County too, all right here. We take a look at our next storm. This is going to be a similar storm, almost the same path that comes from Texas into the Great Lakes. And then we're on the eastern side of this, and we see heavy rain, mild temperatures, coastal flooding, and winds here. Let's take a look at our futurecast for you. Most of the day Friday is dry, but between 7 and 9 p.m., that's when the rain comes in. This won't be as long lasting as the previous storm. It's probably 10 hours at most. The worst of this comes from just about midnight on Saturday through the early morning hours. By daybreak, we're pretty much dry here across the area, but it's going to be a gusty weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. That's going to cool us down as we go into next week. Here's a look at our storm threats with this system here. We're talking about localized areas of flooding rain. Not as much rainfall flooding as what we saw with the last storm because we're not going to see as much rain. But the wind damage threat's still high, and I do expect areas of wind damage, trees down, and power outages as we go into Friday night. Tidal flooding looks to be moderate in spots as well. Here's a look at our rainfall totals. Generally, we're talking about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches of rain, more as you go further north. I will say this, though. The past couple of storms, the rainfall totals have outperformed my forecast, admittedly. But this storm is not that long lasting, so I can't see those 3 or 4 inch amounts that we've seen in these previous storms. That power outage risk, we're going to go with a moderate. This is exactly the same that we had on Tuesday night here. We're talking about gusts that could get up to 70 miles an hour. Lightning is in the realm of possibility as well. With that tidal flooding, it's with the Saturday morning high tide here. I think most places are in minor flood stage. That's the kind of flooding we see 30 to 50 times a year. But there will be some of us, I'm thinking about the Barnegat Bay again, where we get into moderate flood stage. Many bayside roadways flood. Roads may close, unraised homes and businesses flood here, and we did see issues going from Seaside Heights into Toms River on the bridge, or getting onto the bridge was an issue, and the same story on Route 72 from Long Beach Island into the mainland. And we're not done with that storm train either. After Friday, we're talking about another storm January 15th to the 16th. We showed you this in our Snow Search video series, which comes out every Wednesday with Sean Sublett and I. We talk about North Carolina up to New York, of course, including New Jersey. I do believe we will see a wintry mix with this. Now, how much of it is snow, how much of it is rain, I don't know yet. But it does look like this is our best shot for wintry weather that we've seen out of any of these storms so far this season. So let's get you to your 7-day forecast, and then we'll wrap it on up here on Your Wednesday night, average low temperature 25 degrees, average high 43. We're going to stay above average for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We got that storm at night. Friday during the day is dry, Saturday during the day is dry, but it's at the nighttime hours where we see that storm. It's a windy weekend, and we get colder as the weekend goes on. We get below average for Martin Luther King Day, and then there's our storm here, and it gets even colder on the back side of this, where we're talking about our first day that could stay below freezing all day long here. Over at the shore, yes, wintry mix is certainly in the realm of